Hello and good evening. I'm Katie McManus, business strategist and money mindset coach, coming to you live on the Facebooks, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it's called now, and over here on my phone on Instagram. Just little housekeeping. I do love this to be interactive. If you have any questions, if you want to add to the conversation, please add your comments. I will say sometimes, not always, but sometimes I will go and check after the fact and not all the comments will come through. So if you comment and I don't see it, it's either that we're having a technical issue on StreamYard or on Instagram's fine. Or it could also be your privacy settings. So if you have privacy settings that people outside of your network can't see your comments, then that I've discovered can be an issue. Now, I help service-based business owners start their businesses by helping them figure out a profitable niche, design an offer that people actually want to buy, and learn how to market and sell their services in a way that doesn't make you want to vomit. Okay. But here's the number one thing that will hold you back and probably is holding you back from actually starting and growing your business. And that, my friends, is fear. Okay. Here in Stopping a Weenie Land, if you can see my sign, it's backwards on Instagram. Anyway, we know a little bit about fear. It's the thing that keeps most people from doing what they most want to do in life. And in my opinion, it's absolute bullshit. It is such a awful thing that we let run our lives. It's something that will keep you small and keep you feeling insignificant and like you don't deserve to have your voice heard. And that's not okay. That's absolutely not okay here. Because it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter like how many certifications you have or don't have. Like I guarantee you there's something you have to say that people out there need to hear. Okay. Recently one of my family members shared a picture, like two different pictures side by side. One was forgetting her name, but she was a tattoo artist, I think in the Philippines, and she's 104 years old and she does beautiful, beautiful tribal tattoos. And this picture of her, like you look at this picture and this woman, you can tell like when she meets someone, she looks straight through you. Like she can see into the depths of your soul. Right. And the stories she has to tell are just absolutely incredible. Right. And next to her, I'm on a Martha Stewart kick right now. Next to her is a picture of Martha Stewart, who in this picture is 82 and is basically a bathing suit model on the cover of a magazine, Sports Illustrated. And what I love about the juxtaposition of these two women, right, is that they both have something to say. Right? The woman who does tribal tattoos, like she has stories to tell. She has wisdom to pass down. And she brings this gift of, I see you, I see you. And I'm listening to you and I want to decipher what you're saying and make it into something beautiful. Right? And I think we all need some version of that. Right? But there's such a beautiful way of I'm going to use this term and you're probably going to want to gag because it's way overused, but it's a beautiful version of thought leadership where you're pointing to someone and saying, I want to hear what you have to say. Right. It's what therapy and coaching is all about is I'm here to listen to you and help you become better and help you figure out how to create this thing in your mind in like the flesh and in the real world. And next to her with Martha Stewart, who is sitting there, beautiful, like looking absolutely beautiful and being very open that she's had work done and, being very open about her very privileged routine, highly welcome, her very privileged routine that allowed her to look this good. And the gift that she brings is, you know what? I'm 82, but I get to take up space and I get to like grace the cover of this magazine. And you know what? I deserve to be seen. Right. And I think it's so cool that these two women were held up side by side, showing two different gifts, but still showing like this message that the person viewing them deserves to be seen. At least that's how I interpreted it. The common theme is to be seen. You have to get over fear. To assert and act out in your life as if you deserve to take up space. You deserve to be heard. You have to get over fear. And how I look at fear is there are two different kinds of fear. Okay. There's lowercase fear, little fear, and there's uppercase big fear. Okay. Lowercase fear is actually like really legitimate fear. Okay. So lowercase fear is the fear, that voice of warning when you're like ice skating on a lake and you hear a crack and it's like, you got to get back to the shore. This is not safe, right? Lowercase fear is when you smell gas in your home and you're like, that's not good. Let's not light any candles. Let's call the gas company and have them come out with their little meter thing and make sure everything's okay. Lowercase fear is that prickly sense you get on the back of your neck when you're walking home late at night. If you live in a city and you're a woman, we've all had that experience, right? Lowercase fear is like this instinctual, like there's a threat to your safety. And this comes from, millennia of having predators basically hunting us in the wild, right? Like wolves and tigers and bears and lions. Oh my, all the things that was totally out of order, but you know what I mean? Lowercase fear is like, knowing that you have $5 left and you still have to buy groceries for the week for your kids and yourself. It's valid. It's valid. It is part of what drives you towards survival. And that kind of fear is not bad. That kind of fear is actually like, it's almost like your check engine light on your car, right? If your check engine light is on, you got to get it checked. Like for us, when we feel that lowercase fear and it's like, we feel like, oh God, there's some danger here. I want to keep myself physically safe. It's like that check engine light. We got to like check our surroundings and be like, what is wrong here? What is the thing that like could happen that I need to be a little more careful of? Okay, the roads are icy. Great. Maybe I don't go driving. And if I do go driving, maybe I take the car that has 4-wheel drive, right? Lowercase fear is absolutely fine. We're not shaming lowercase fear. Uppercase fear though. This is the one that's full of crap. Okay. Uppercase fear. And I make it uppercase, I make it big because like when we're in this state of having like of being our weenie selves and having this uppercase fear, it's like the things that we're afraid of get so blown out of proportion. And like if we were to actually sit down and write down the sequence of events of what we're worried about might happen, we would actually like start reading this thing and be like, this sounds like a melodrama. This sounds like a soap opera. This shit will never happen. Like this is ridiculous. This is a plot line that days of our lives wouldn't even accept, right? Usually it's like the big fear. I remember being in high school, and I don't know why I put so much pressure on myself for this one history test, but I remember standing there in front of my history professor after I completely bombed it because I panicked in the middle of the test. And it was in junior year, and I basically like came up with this like random chain of events that like this test was going to lead me to fail this other thing, which is going to lead me to fail this other thing, which would lead to me not going to college, and which would lead to me like, being homeless and destitute on the streets. Saying it out loud to him and having him kind of laugh at me and like help me see how ridiculous that was, it helped. But that was uppercase fear. Okay. It comes up with all these crazy consequences for you just doing what you want to do in life. And that's not okay. That's absolutely not okay. I see this all the time with people who really want to start businesses. Hi, Lauren, welcome. I see this all the time with people who want to start businesses. They obviously, like every human, have that lowercase fear, the valid things that you can be afraid of in your life. I do keep spiders on this list. Lauren, I know you'd be concerned about that. Spiders are valid on the lowercase fear list. But on the uppercase fear list, there are so many things that like a potential new business owner has on their list of things to be absolutely terrified of that actually are not a big deal. Okay. Number one is like posting online and taking up space and like writing stuff and showing your face and like, who am I to say anything about any topic when I don't have a doctorate degree, when I haven't written 7 books about it? Like there's this voice in your head that's like, you're not good enough to talk about this. Like, who are you to talk about this? Like, people are going to judge you. People are going to look at you and think that you are so full of shit. Like, they are not going to buy anything that you're selling. They're not even going to listen to you. Oh my God, they're going to make fun of you behind your back. That, my friends, is uppercase fear. Okay. It is illogical. It can be based in some truth. But oftentimes the only reason it's there is because you have this weenie in your mind that is telling you like this thing that you want is too big. It's too big, too scary. Like it is challenging our status quo and we are not okay with it. So we're going to come up with all these crazy scenarios that keep you from going for what you really want. Thank you for your support of my spider aversion. Anytime, Lauren. I have the same. So, we have to stick together as people who are afraid of spiders. So us and Ron Weasley, which you won't get because you haven't read Harry Potter yet, which I'm still mad about. Anyway, back to my point. I do harass my people about reading Harry Potter. Half of my sense of humor is based in Harry Potter, so they can't understand a lot when they don't read them. Anyway, and of course, this is the books. We're not even like talk about the author. That's a whole different topic. Anyway, so there's this fear of being seen. All right. So being seen can be a really scary thing when you're starting a business. But here's the thing. If you want to start a business, if you want to attract clients, if you want to attract high paying clients, if you want to build this business from just making a few dollars to making a full-blown full-time income, you're going to have to be seen. Okay. No one can hire you and give you their money for the thing if they don't know that you exist. Okay. It's pretty important. Like if you want clients, they're going to have to at least know that you exist out there in the world. Okay. That's the bare basic. Okay. And that's not even going to be enough to get them to give you their money. Okay. Like them being aware that you exist, like maybe like they see you every day at Starbucks. That doesn't, it's like the bare minimum, right? But they have to know that you exist to be able to like maybe know your name at some point, to maybe understand what it is that you do for work, to start hearing who you help and what you help them do, and start like noodling in their head, like, I want that. Yeah, I have those problems and I want that thing. That is my goal. You help people go from here to here. Yes, I would like that. Right. To get to that point, they have to know that you exist. Right. So you have some options here. You can stand outside on a street corner with a sign telling people what you do. Like just waving at cars and like stopping people walking by. That is totally an option. You can go door to door, knocking on doors and just say, hi, yes, I'm a consultant and I help people with X, Y, and Z. And here you go. And here's my business card. And do you have this problem? No. Okay. Do you have any friends who have this problem? No. Okay. I will leave now. Thank you. You can do a whole bunch of embarrassing things, but one of the most impactful things that you can do in your business is to post online. like it is the most effective. Like we have these platforms now. Like we live in magical times, people. I know there's a lot of fucked up things happening in the world. We live in magical times where this thing that we carry around in our pockets all day long can help us get in front of millions, if not billions of people. Right. And of course, it takes work. You have to build up your audience. You have to get good at creating content. All that stuff takes time. By the way, you're going to get good before a lot of people see your stuff. Deep breath. But it's free. Like you can get in front of millions of potential clients for free if you just get over this uppercase big fear and stop letting the weenie in your head run the show. Okay. It is all available to you. Okay, so that's one fear that uppercase like weenie fear generating machine will tell you is something that is like a big no-no. Don't let it tell you that. Okay. And if it does, like reason it out. Write down everything that you're afraid of, the whole sequence of events that will lead you to being a busboy at a restaurant where your ex-wife and your kids will show up and like scorn you. You know, whatever story you're telling yourself, like play it out, see how ridiculous it is. Okay. And stop following that fear. Another fear that is really common, I'm not going to go over all of them because there are a lot, but these are a few of the really top ones. The next fear is this fear of asking for money. This is something that gets most people so uncomfortable and squirmy and like avoidant is this fear of asking for money. And let's talk about where this comes from. Okay. So we all grew up in families and family units, right? Our families also came from families who also came from families. With each generation, there was a relationship with money that got passed down. Okay. It wasn't intentional. It was in the stress that the parents carried around when rent was due. It was in the stress that came around Christmas time when you had to buy presents. It was in the judgment of people around you who are either really wealthy or not so wealthy and like how they dealt with their money. All this stuff plays into how you deal with money in the here and now. And because it's not intentional, right? Your relationship with money has probably been passed down from about 7 generations ago. Now, I don't know about you guys, but like I have family members who 7 generations ago were barely scraping by, growing potatoes, needing to immigrate to another country with like $12 in their pocket. And that was it. Okay. Not super helpful for growing a business. Add on to that, like all these like weird, shamey conversations that we have about money in the here and now. We're constantly seeing, commercials and marketing stuff about how if we have to do money this way or else you're doing it wrong. You have to invest in this or you're doing it wrong. You have to get this credit card or else you're doing it wrong. Deep breath, deep breath. You get to choose to believe all that stuff or not. Okay. It's all up to you. You can educate yourself. You can do whatever you want with your money, but there's no good and there's no bad. All right. Hi, Leandro. Welcome. Hi. But this fear of asking for money, it plays out most often in what am I worth? What am I worth? What is my time worth? What can I justify charging when I start my business? And let me tell you, you're priceless. No price can be put to you as a person. Okay. That's not even a question. Okay. We've had wars over this. Okay. You can't sell yourself. All right. It's just not okay. What you can sell, however, is the transformation you offer your clients. Now, this could be the transformation you offer companies. This could be the transformation that you offer individuals. But what is that transformation worth? Right? When we get so afraid of asking for money, it boils down to like all this belief system that we have from our family around like money's either good or evil, or there are certain rules playing into it. And I'm being vague here because it's different for every one of us. In addition to that, there's this like attachment to this is an indication of how much I'm worth. And if I ask for it and people aren't willing to pay it, that's telling me that I'm not worth it. That's directly telling me that I'm not deserving, I'm not worth it. And our psyches really can't handle that. And it's completely logical for you to not ask for enough money because you're afraid of that rejection. Okay. It actually ties into a little fear, a lowercase fear, right? Because the human spirit really can't exist when it feels like it's not worthy and deserving. It just doesn't do well. But here's where that's bullshit. You're not selling yourself. You're selling a transformation, right? So if you're helping someone get a promotion at work and say they make $15,000 more that first year, it's not like they're just going to make $15,000 more that year. They're going to get a raise based off of that for every year for the rest of their career. Okay. That's the transformation you sell. Say you help someone find the absolute love of their lives. What is that worth to someone? What is it worth to have someone to grow old with? What is it worth having someone who maybe wants to have kids with you? You can build this beautiful little life in this future and all this stuff. That is worth a crap ton of money to people. That is a transformation that a lot of people pay a lot of money for. And if you can help them, go for it. Like me, I help people start businesses. Like if someone chooses to work with me, they could potentially make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not seven figures, over the course of their life, depending on how ambitious they are. I have several clients who are on their way to seven figures and they're going to be making a ton of money in their lifetime. That is the transformation that I sell. That is the transformation that I help people do. So for you, whatever it is that you do, you really need to figure out, and hi, Chanel, welcome. You really have to figure out what is the transformation that you are offering your audience. And when someone's curious about working with you, they're not actually like buying your time. They don't really give a crap about your time. They don't give a crap about you. I know that sounds insensitive, but it's true. If you could belly dance, like if you were a magic belly dancer and you could belly dance and make their dreams come true, they would just be like, dance, please dance, shake that booty. I don't know a whole lot about belly dancing. I should probably learn some terminology so I'm more accurate. Anyway. I just know like they have like the jangle belt, which I love. I think it's so much fun. Anyway, you're selling that transformation, whatever it is that they want at the end of the day. Okay. That is what you're charging money for. That is what they are making a buying decision around. Okay. When someone says yes to that, it's because they believe in themselves enough that they think that they can accomplish it. When someone says no to that, it's usually because they can't trust themselves. They haven't built that muscle or they trust themselves to be a good investment. Maybe they've done a lot of stuff in the past and it hasn't panned out. And like, this just feels like another one of those things. And unfortunately, that happens to a lot of people. Andrea Celeste, do you have a book or resource recommendation to help address a business owner relationship with money? Oh my God, Andrea, I have so many. Hold on. I have them all right here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. They're all within reach. It's great. It's a book of palooza. Okay. We're going to start with an oldie but goodie. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I am particularly crazy about this mastermind edition by Joel Fatinos and August Gold. If you can see that. Now, there's some racist, like outdated shit in this book, unfortunately. But the message is really good. The message is timeless for most of the part. Like there's some in here that's like outdated marketing tactics. You don't need that. But this is amazing. I've had multiple clients that I sent this to. As they were reading it, they hit their very first $10,000 month. Like this is hands down. This got me through a really rough time when I was going through my own little financial meltdown. This is a great book. Okay. This is a relationship book, but it is amazing. Like you just switch out relationship for money. It's called Calling in the One. It's by Catherine Woodward Thomas. I guess it's also really good for calling in relationships. I haven't used it for that. I've used it for mostly like business and manifestation stuff, but it is bomb. You can see like I've done all the pages and all the things. Okay. It's also like covered in spider webs, which is kind of gross. All right. We'll deal with that later. What next? Okay. The Soul of Money. This is a copy of the book that I actually have not read. I read another copy and then I bought this one because I thought I lost the other one and I wanted to replace it, but then I found it. Anyway, you didn't need to know that. Soul of Money by Lynn Twist. I love her approach because it's very holistic. It's very giving. Like she really had to reckon with this belief system that money was bad. And she wanted to do a lot of good with her money, and she did. And so she talks a lot about that. The Audible version of this is really good, but you don't want to listen to it while you're sitting down because her voice is very relaxing. You will fall asleep. So I actually like listening to this at double speed when I'm working out. The Mindful Millionaire. I read this so long ago. I don't remember. I don't remember much about it. Didn't really leave a impression. Maybe I was just busy. And then The Psychology of Money. This one is absolutely great. There's another book that I love. I listened to a while ago. It's called The History of Money. Absolutely fascinating. Just diving into like how money has been approached from like just a being standpoint throughout history, how different cultures have dealt with it and made rules around it, and how currency works. Absolutely fascinating, right? Those are my recommendations for you, Andrea. I hope that helps. Okay, well, where was I going? Oh yeah. So when you're charging for your work, you're charging for the transformation. You're not saying this is how much I'm worth. That is not even a question here. Okay. You're charging for the transformation. If you're charging too much, people won't buy it. And that's okay. That's just data. Okay. You have to lower your rate. If 100% of people are buying what you're offering, that is also data. And it's also not good. It means you're not charging enough. When you're at a good price point, really only 25 to 50% of people who you have a buying conversation with should say yes. Okay. The other 50 to 75% should say no. And that is healthy. Okay. It's also one of the reasons why you need to get over the first big fear, which is being seen. Because if out of 4 people, only 1 or 2 become your client, you still have to get in front of 4 people in order to get those 1 or 2 clients. All right. Fear of money is one of the hardest things to overcome. I will be totally honest here. I had a really awful relationship with money, did a ton of money work, and was like, I'm fixed. This is good. I'm fine. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. It's kind of like wanting to be in really good shape and going to the gym every single day. It's not like you get to a point you're like, I'm ripped. I'm good. I'm going to be ripped for the rest of my life. No, you stop going to the gym, you lose your muscle mass. It's the same for your relationship with money. So have really a lot of compassion for yourself as you go through it. It is an ongoing process. Oh, good. You took screenshots. Okay, awesome. Anyway, so fear of being seen, fear of asking for money. Those are 2 absolute major fears, like big uppercase fears that your weenie self will put in your way and to try to keep you from starting a business. Now, the other one that I like to address is this fear that you don't know enough, this fear that you're not good enough, this fear that you're not an expert enough. We live in a world where people like to present their credentials. Okay. Their credentials, there are an abundant amount of credentials that you could have. There was, how do I say this? I want to say this. So I'm anonymizing the person that I'm talking about because I don't want to call them out. So we're going to call him Sam. Okay. Sam and I went through coach training around the same time. Sam actually had a decade or so more work experience than I had climbed the corporate ladder, was very, very successful. We both got trained at the Coactive Training Institute. We went through the training together. We went through certification around the same time. We both got certified. And Sam was worried that they didn't have enough training, was worried that their certification wasn't good enough for them to go and start a business. So they went and got more training and went through another certification program and another one and another one and another one and another one. Got certified in all this stuff, thinking that each certification would add to his confidence level, that would give him that boost that would allow for him to feel ready to overcome that fear of starting the business. I can tell you, I didn't feel ready either. I absolutely wanted to go back for more certification. I just couldn't afford to do it, right? I had to start making money before I could go back and get more certifications. And so I just started my business. I just started going out and getting clients, and I built my business and I built my business and I started making money. And as I started making money and getting clients, I actually started realizing like, I don't actually need more certifications. I have enough expertise from my work history and from my coach training and from my certification that I'm fine. I'm fully baked. Like, this is great. And it was only up until last year that I didn't actually go back for more certifications until last year when I went back to get more training on coaching on money, Andrea. So the sad thing about this situation is that here I am. I run my business. It's fairly successful. I'm really happy. It's growing. I'm a fairly confident business owner at this point. And I teach other people how to run businesses. It's amazing. And Sam, 3 years ago, had to quit and go back to a job, give up on his dream of coaching and running a coaching company and all his stuff, because all the certifications that he had didn't actually give him more confidence in running a business. The uppercase fear around I'm not good enough is a really dangerous one, right? Because especially if you have the resources to keep investing in these things that you have sold yourself in your mind, that it will make you feel more confident to go and do the thing. It can have you wasting years of your life, lots of money, lots of time, lots of energy. And it still won't give you what you think it will. Right? Because the only thing that will give you the confidence and the fearlessness to be in business is by starting a business, right? Like, you don't get over the fear of riding a bike by learning how to rollerblade. That's not how it works, right? Vice versa. You don't learn how to get over the fear of rollerblading by learning how to ride a bike. Okay. The fears are different. The skills are different. That fear that tells you that you're not smart enough, all this stuff. Yeah, most of the time it's not true unless you're an actual con artist, which if you're watching me, I don't think I attract a whole lot of con artists to my world, except for that one boyfriend I had. Whole different story there. But that fear will keep you spinning your wheels. And the most insidiously dangerous part of this fear is that it gives you enough to do that you feel like you're busy. Right? It gives you all these action items that you have to just get through before you go there, right? It's all this busy work that makes you feel like you're being productive and building towards your dream, but you're not. You're absolutely not. You're just keeping yourself busy and occupied. So you can't go and do this thing because it thinks like if you go do that thing, you're going to get in trouble. Right. It's kind of like parents, when you have like a 3-year-old and maybe like one of the parents is building a jungle gym in the backyard and it's not ready yet. And it's still a construction site. And so to like keep the kid from like sneaking out into the backyard and accidentally getting hurt on this jungle gym that's not ready. One parent will be like, you know what? I know we have a rule against this, but you can pull out all the pots and pans. You can make a drum set. You can, start like a whole like one person reggae band and like take the wooden spoons and you can make an absolute mess as long as you stay inside. We're going to keep you busy. We're going to give you an activity inside so you don't go outside where it's dangerous. That is what your weenie self is doing to you when it tells you that you need to go back for more certifications and more certifications and more certifications. I can tell you if you've been through one training and one certification program, you're good. That's enough. You don't need any more. If you've had a career in something, like I have a whole career in sales and marketing, that's enough. That is enough. I went through so many different like employee training programs to learn how to sell. That's enough. I can train people how to sell. You can too. There's something that you have, and it could be a lived experience. It could be something you were trained on. It could be something that you were like seriously educated on. That voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough is always going to be there. Okay. Even surgeons who've been cutting people open for 30 years still have that voice because they feel like they're out of date. Okay. It's not going away. And if you wait for it to go away, you're never going to do this. You're never going to start a business. What you have to do to start the business is just to start the business. Let that voice and those fears be there and just tell them you're not listening to them anymore. They're not driving the boat. They're not in charge. They are not creating the strategy here. You are. I want this for you so badly. I want you to be able to look at these uppercase fears and be able to recognize that they are absolute fucking bullshit, because they are the only things that are holding you back from actually building what you want in your life. It's the only thing, right? Of course, like there are limitations for money and time and all that stuff, but that can all be figured out. Okay. Those are just resources that you have to get, you know. Maybe you need like a loan from a family member. Maybe you need to take a small business loan. Maybe you need to dial back hours at work. Maybe you need to ask the like neighbor kid to watch your kids for a couple hours. Like all that stuff can be figured out. You're resourceful and creative and smart. You can figure that shit out. But the thing that'll keep you from even like starting to figure that stuff out is these kinds of fears. And that's not okay. And hi, Morgan. We're just wrapping up, but it's good to have you. Anyway, wherever you are in the process of starting your business, growing your business, doing whatever brave thing it is that you want to do in your life, tomorrow I want you to do something that scares the absolute shit out of you. I don't care what it is. It could be telling someone, wait, how much you charge. It could be posting online for this first time. It could be emailing people who had expressed like mild interest in the past and just touching base with them and seeing how they're doing. It could be applying for a speaking role at an upcoming event. Do something that scares the pants off you. And the reason I'm telling you to do this is because the only way you can get over these fears is by showing your brain, showing that weenie brain of yours that you can do this scary thing and not die. That's really the only thing that really gets you over those fears. Anyway, with that, oh my God, I've been talking for like 37 minutes. Okay, with that, I will leave you to your evening. I want to say a big thank you to Andrea Celeste for your questions, and to Chanel and Leandro and Lee and Lauren and Morgan and whoever else joined us and didn't comment. Thank you for being here. I hope this was really helpful. I hope this was that fire under your butt to go and get to work. I'm Katie McManus, business strategist and money mindset coach. And if you need help building your business, you know who to call. All right. And I will see you in my DMs if you want some help. Anyway, love you all so much. Have a great day. And I will see you all when I go live tomorrow. Okay. Bye.